All right, okay. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 13 days in a row or 12 days or whatever it is. I don't know. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Aren't we excited? The lucky 13. No. Congrats to those who are involved with the Dow Jones Industrial Average. I am not, but there's stocks like Apple and Microsoft and Boeing and Nike certainly helping, United Healthcare and JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, which we will get to, but it's just 30 stocks, so I don't really get too excited about the Dow, but just pointing it out, the Russell 2000 is actually outperforming the Dow during that time. So I'm more interested in the Nasdaq. The growth stocks on the Nasdaq. We had this, oh, Marty, don't do that. We had this, I don't know, you could say this is like a trend line. It was up against its trend line here and got back into the channel, which is good. Get back in there. And so it's in the middle of this channel, and you can even draw a trend line on the lower part of the channel. So it's in the middle of the channel, which is good. It's just squatting here at the 10 EMA. I believe it's just barely a tick above the 10 EMA here. So let it squat there for a little bit. That's fine. Yeah, 0.3% above the 10, 1.4% above this magenta line, which is the 21. So it's doing what it's supposed to do. Nice confirmed uptrend here. Today was like the most boring day I've ever seen, I think, on a Fed meeting with caution heading into the meeting, and then out of the meeting was just a big nothing burger. I did mention some of those bank stocks, and they're, JP Morgan doing well, advancing a little bit today. Goldman Sachs up, less than 1%. PACW, yeah, I got to mention this. They were bought out today, Bank of California. So congrats to the longs there, I guess, up 26%. And what else do we have here? Oh, Wells Fargo announced a 30 billion buyback program, and it was up 2%. So I'm actually along a Wells Fargo in my retirement account. So yay, congrats to me. It is making a nice little base here, and they passed their stress test, and the banks actually look pretty good. I shouldn't be such a wise guy, but anyway, that's just not my style for growth stocks. Some of the software names showed signs of life today. This is Palo Alto Networks, and we talked about the trade from like 190 to 250, and now it's pulled back to its 21. And you can see here how the moving averages are converging, and this thing popped up and had a bullish engulfing candle here today. So we'll see what happens here in the next couple of sessions, though, as it closed at 63% of its daily range. Pretty nice day for Palo Alto Networks. One of its running mates is Palo Alto is CrowdStrike. And you can see that this thing just is forming a little base here, consolidation in between like 162 and 140. And today it bounced a little bit off its 50. Let me zoom in there. 2.5% bounce, not bad. Needs a little more volume. But nice day for a CrowdStrike and some of the software names. Let's go to another running mate here, Zscaler. This one was up 1%, and this forming a little base as well. So those are starting to look a little better. How about Monday? Yeah, nice pull back to its 50 and then bounce. This is trading a little wild, a little indecisive. You like these bases, but when we see the right side of the base comes straight up like that, usually it's a little faulty and takes a little bit of time to shake people out, and for investors to decide what the heck this stock is worth. Is it worth 187 or is it worth 106? So somewhere in between. And obviously right now it's worth 178.85 because that's what people are paying for it. All right, let's go to the retail stocks. Nike, it's in the Dow, so I'm going to include this. This thing has just been really hit hard. And you can see it's trying to form a bottom here. At 102, retested 103, still below its moving averages. It was up nearly 1% today. So, and it's in the Dow, the victorious Dow. So we're going to include it. This is on holdings. You can see it bounced off of its 10 EMA here, that green line. And it's been on our watch list. It's kind of a slow mover, but it might move tomorrow if Crocs reports a good earnings or a Skechers. They both report tomorrow, and it'll definitely be impacted by those reports. The reports are good. I expect new highs for on holding, which is up 3.19% today. Yay. And then Deckers, of course, Deckers is the just the trend trader's dream here. It just keeps going higher. Made this high of $562.97 on July 12th, pulled back here to its 21, found support. Now it's trending higher again. So just a thing of beauty right there. Some of the autos stocks, I'm going to show some of the auto stocks that I normally don't show. Tesla's obviously the king this year, but it was flat on the session today. But raced out $1.24, almost 0.5%. Is it's got this 10 and the 21 converging here. So, and race has had a real nice uptrend here all year. I think it's the second or third leading auto stock this year. Lee Auto, obviously. Lee had a nice day today, up 3.56%. And again, this thing has gone from what, 12, all the way up to $40. So Lee Auto's had a nice run as well. And the one that I wanted to point out that's been on our watch list is RIVN. And the reason why is, this thing like doubled, right? From this 1350, 1330, and then is now just traded flat, and normally, or I shouldn't say normally, but in a bear market or like last year, if it ran up like this, it would have just sold right off and came back down. But now it's holding its gains here. And actually, if you look at the weekly, you can see like here's your gain. Then it's just kind of trading sideways and now like pushing higher. Today it was up. Well, shoot, it's up 7.4% this week. So that's a pretty good 3-day run. But it doesn't look like much. This is just what Webby would call like a shelf pattern. And now it's starting to push away from this little shelf base here. And it made another high above the 2762, above this high from last week of 2716. So this thing is pushing higher. So good for the RIVN. And I would still, I'm in this, I'm long, and I think it's going to go higher. That's why I'm long. Otherwise, I would sell it, say if it's going lower, I don't want any part of it. All right, the oil stocks. Weatherford made a new high today, 52-week high. Good for Weatherford. This is oil and gas equipment stocks doing great. And Tidewater is another one that I like in this group. And it was up 1.3% today. Just coming out of this base here, this nice consolidation. If you didn't catch it here, this formed, like the old Webby shelf here, like a few weeks. Let's see what this looks like on the weekly. Yeah, almost like a short stroke pattern. I'm going to get to that in a minute, but that might even be 3 weeks tight this week if it hangs in there around the 60 level. All right, enough of that oil and gas stuff. I want to get to, like I said, it was kind of a boring day, so I'm going to go to the after hour stuff. Meta Platforms reported strong earnings. It's up, more than 4%. So we're going to look for that tomorrow and see if that is playable. Chipotle Mexican Grill reported earnings beat, but their same store sales and their revenues missed. And this thing's going to take a haircut tomorrow. It looks like it's going to undercut this 2000 level as it's down more than 8% after hours. So sorry for all the burrito fans. Yeah, it's at 1900. Wow, after hours. That's a big move. $187. Wow. Okay. Lam Research, better news from Lam Research. They had a really strong report. This is a semiconductor equipment stock, up now 2%. It was 4%, but we'll look for that one tomorrow as well. And one that I've got to include in here is ENVX. This is an ENVX. They had a shoot, it's up almost 5% now. They actually had earnings, and earnings beat. Yeah, they delivered like 3 cents of earnings, and they had way more power units delivered. I think they expected like 18,000, and they had something like 23,000 or something like that. Anyway, real large beat. So this is a very speculative company. It's a story stock, and that one looks good for tomorrow. Anyway, caution today. ahead of the Fed. Jay Powell spoke, and it was just a nothing burger, completely flat. But we are getting into the dog days of summer, and so if the indexes want to squat, at their moving averages, that's fine. I didn't even get into any of our leading stocks today because I don't know, it's just kind of a nothing day. So that's it for today, except I must honor the great Steve Jobs and say one more thing. And there's this one company that reported earnings, electronic part company VICR, VICR, with this big earnings gap, 57% move on over a 1,100% above average daily volume. So that is a huge move, and one that is not going to be ignored. Now, if this was the bear market of 2022, this thing would sell right back off and fill this gap. But so I'm going to watch this thing tomorrow. It closed near the high of its daily range. You see the 99 percentile. That is a hammer candle. I expect this thing to go higher, but we'll see. We'll see. And wow, that is one heck of a breakout of a base. You can see the consolidation here with the 62 buy points. So anyway, that's it for today. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Lots of earnings to get to tomorrow, and we never give up.